Dan to Dan, Season 2, Episode 17. We can all stay there together. Who's all of us? Because some people are still kind of jacked up at the moment. Let's talk about it. Well, Maggie Variants talking about Dan to Dan, Episode 17. This one was solid because everything, the aftermath of everything that was going on with Gigi, the giant worm, the volcano. We finally got the full, aftermath picture of what's going to happen with, everyone. Basically, are people going to return back to their lives? Is there no more current threats that we got to deal with? What's the deal? So basically, it starts off with a failed, more or less, I don't know what's called, expulsion. Like, you got to remember, Taro still has Evil Eye slash Gigi trapped inside of him, and they are trying to figure out how to separate the two or figure it out or whatever, but they are failing at every turn because he's still in there. He keeps saying, I'm still in there. Every time they open up the face, he's still in there. Can't do nothing about it. So they end up just kind of resigning to, all right, well, let's go have a family dinner and figure stuff out. We just got to talk about, figure out what to do. So they start talking about different things. We see Ira, who's upset because she did not get a mission invite. She's like, why wasn't I included? I'm like, she probably would have been helpful, but, another person to worry about if Okarun had handled business like he did. So we'll see. Uh, we get asked why Mantis returned for milk. That's just a simple answer. Mantis returned because he was told to leave the planet by Ira, like, don't come back. Acrobatic Silk, he was like, yo, get out of here. Returned because he was not able to use the cow that he had because of the way the planet's composition is set up and how they get their oxygen. Whole bunch of things going on. Basically, he returned so that Chiquitita could have milk because if Chiquitita does not have milk, then he will die. So, to preserve Son's life, Mantis-san said, I'm going to be back here, and he actually ends up taking a job. And we'll talk about it. He basically ends up taking a job where he's going to be working literally like right next door, doing some just paid work and stay in the basement of the house or like a spare room or something like that. So works out for him. It's hilarious because he ends up taking the spaceship, goes over to the next house, and comes back down. It's like, wow, you could have walked. Um, so they talk about trying to exorcism on Gigi. So everyone's sitting there having a conversation, especially I think the exorcism was suggested by Granny Seiko and Manjiro. But it's gonna take a while to get the guys there to do the exorcism. They got to have a kind of like the well, it's people that show up and kind of do the distraction of the evil eye so they can perform said exorcism. Uh, and basically, when that's going on, we end up having Taro, who is trying to eat. Taro doesn't look like he needs to eat, but maybe he's trying to keep Gigi's body intact, where so trying to force Evil Eye to eat or whatever the case may be. But ends up taking on some hot broth, and the hot broth gets spilled on Taro or Gigi inside of Taro or Evil Eye inside of Taro, and it's a change. We see Gigi is back and trapped inside. Like, what's going on? Everything's dark, and basically Gigi's being Gigi's normal, silly self. Making the faces, doing all the stuff. So Gigi is back. But when did Gigi come back? And basically, Grand Seiko ends up kind of going back and forth and figuring out that cold water will change to Evil Eye, hot water will change to Gigi. So kind of think Ranma, if you've ever seen Ranma, more or less same thing. So any type of liquid doesn't have to be water, any type of liquid that is either hot or cold is going to cause a change. So they have to keep thermoses filled with hot water on standby in case there's ever a situation where GG changes and they have to, you know, figure that out. They got to be able to splash this stuff on them. Now, over the course of the episode, we see GG is still just being himself, but now the mask is off, the head's off, so Tara's head's just kind of rolling around the house. But he's able to speak freely and not have any issues currently. So just gotta keep an eye on things. Now, with Gigi, they end up going to check on Gigi's parents, and his parents have been transferred to a local hospital about 10 minutes away from where uh, where they're staying, so where Momo's house is. So they go to visit. Parents are okay. Gigi's super emotional. He's happy. His parents are good. But during that process of that travel to there, we see that Okarun and Momo accidentally touch hands, and basically it's kind of like that. In that, oh, she touched my hand, got that little embarrassing feel. We have Momo who says it's fine, it's okay. But Okarun is like, he's apologizing, profusely. He didn't mean that. She doesn't put his hand back, and she ends up kind of just playing with his hand, teasing his hand, and just rubbing on his hand, whatever the case may be. It's making him extremely uncomfortable, but I feel like comfortable at the same time. He's blushing like he doesn't know the rules of the game. He's trying to figure this out. Where Momo is just being sweet, like she has fallen for him, and she's making it more known, more prevalent, I guess, in her terms or whatever. I guess trying to warm him up and trying to get him comfortable because again, he's still that awkward phase of their relationship, trying to figure out what to do and how to respond to stuff. So it's cute. It's a nice moment between them. Feels it feels really genuine and stuff on her part. That she's just trying to get him to open up and express himself where he's still kind of in that shell. So it's great to see. We end up flashing back to the city that they were in with the volcano, and we see that the Keto family is being arrested. So Keto family being arrested, and with the Keto family being arrested, we have basically was it Naki who's on the run, and she's still got kind of like that broke arm kind of thing going on, and she's on the run. She's trying to get away, and in the process, she gets super frustrated. She is mad at Momo, like she is hot at Momo, like I'm going to take you out first chance I get. And we see Naki end up kind of messing with her arm, trying to get it freaking right and can't get it set. And she's mad. She's ripping off her face. And I'm just like, she just tore her face off. Turns out she's got horns. She's a yokai. She's some kind of, you know, oh, I can't confirm if she's yokai. She's kind of yokai, demon, spirit, something. She is something. Alien, I don't know. She is something. And she looks dangerous. And she is coming for Momo. So it's finna go down, and I don't know how it's gonna happen. She is mad that she did all that work to grow that worm to the size it was, and then Momo is the one that took it out. So she's the one to blame. So she's gonna get her revenge. So stay tuned for that. That's the next threat. That's what we got to worry about. So that's what's gonna carry the story forward, as well as trying to figure out what's going on with Gigi. All right. We see that Momo, Okarun, and Ira they all return to school, and Ira's having some awkward issues because she's trying to remember she was spreading all the rumors. You had the whole naked in front of school scene. There's a couple things going on, so everybody's got to readjust to you know life back in school, back to a sense of normalcy. Um, and in the process of that, we have Momo end up talking to Okarun and Ira and asks them both to come stay at the house because of everything's going on with Gigi. Great Seiko's gonna be trying to watch and make sure he's good. Manager's gonna be trying to watch for now while he's there. I think he's gonna head back to go get the guys to exorcism. So maybe Granny by herself trying to make sure that Gigi doesn't change by accidentally. So he's gonna need round the clock care more or less and being watched. The more people there, the more the better, and the better reaction time that they're gonna have to contain any issues if Evil Eye gets loose again. Because we see that Evil Eye is getting used to the wards that were put in place inside of Taro, and they're burning off. So Taro is basically giving the go ahead and release Gigi, and we just have to be freaking careful. Now the problem with that, of course, is now Gigi's full skin is exposed. Hey, anything can happen. Like Gigi probably needs to be wearing freaking long sleeves, full on suit. Like you can't have anything exposed that would happen. But I digress. It's just kind of what we got to deal with. So everyone ends up coming to stay. Everybody's moving to the house. So see Ira show up in like a whole trench coat thing, and she's ready to chill out. And she's just like, guess whatever. But again, she's still going through her issues because her and Momo are not friends. Remember, they are not friends. So it's going to be an adjustment for them to kind of figure stuff out. While Momo's trying to be friends. Like, hey, you use this kind of makeup cream stuff, whatever. Let me bump some off you. They're trying to have a moment. So everybody's having dinner. Everything's good. Turbo Granny's mad because she ain't got her cushion. She wants to know where her fluffy cushion is, and everything's being passed back and forth. and we actually see some soy sauce being passed from Okarun to Granny Seiko, and we got some that spills, but it hits the table. Close call, no problem there. But she wants the other soy sauce. And when the other soy sauce gets passed, a drop falls. Guess who lifts their hands up? It's Gigi. Splash lands on his hand, and bam, Evil Eye is back and flipping the table. And that is the cutoff. That's where they cut the episode. That is a cliffhanger for your behind. Like, straight up. It's about to go down. We got to scrap. House gets freaking damaged immediately. What are they going to do? Where are their thermoses? They got to deal with Evil Eye right here, right now, and figure out what to do with Gigi. So, I'm happy. It's a good episode. Solid. Again, it was slow, but again, the anticipation, the build up as far as what's going to happen with Gigi was good. And remember, he's got a strong magical power. So the exorcism may not go according to plan because, again, the strong magical power within Gigi could offset the exorcism and allow the evil eye to stay in there because again the evil eye, if it infects anybody else, a normal person, it will pretty much destroy them. But someone who has great magical energy and potential, like those are, and the good physical body, all that stuff, like those are caveats to have a successful transformation, successful absorption into whoever it is they choose, and they take over that person and they're in better form. And we see how Evil Eye is. Evil Eye is cut, ripped up, ready to go, and it's like a perfect physical specimen as far as getting ready to fight, combat, all the soccer skills and stuff that Gigi's acquired over the years, and sort of that the magical energy, everything is perfect. He is a perfect vessel. So what is going to happen? Are they going to be able to do the exorcism? Are they going to be able to separate the two? We already kind of know where it's probably going to go because we see that Ira has acrobatic Silky that she can now call on as far as powers. Okarun has Turbo Granny's powers to call on. Momo has her own powers. So Gigi's going to get some powers on his end, and whether or not it's a willful transformation or some residual stuff left over, I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned to find out. So please hit that lovely red subscribe button so you can stay tuned. Comment down below. Tell me what you think of the episode. What do you think is going to happen next? What do you want to happen? If you've already seen it, please no spoilers. We're trying to, catch everything as it comes out and what's going on. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.